word alone can be challenging. How do we get started? Where will the change lead? Don't sit there and worry about it. Be the change. Welcome to Be the Change Radio. Host Christina Bloom has been a professional psychic and spiritual advisor for 20 years, offering psychic and mediumship readings for individuals and groups. She also teaches several classes in psychic development and metaphysics. In addition, she is an author who has published 2 books so far and is the co-owner of Moonbow Publications and Productions, LLC. Are you ready for that change now? Here is your host of Be the Change Radio, Christina Bloom.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Be the Change Radio. I'm your host, Christina Bloom, and you're listening to us on WLTK, Let's Talk Radio. I got a bunch of announcements before I bring out my very special guest tonight, Mr. Peter Benson, who has created some really amazing, I'll let him explain it. It's off the charts, amazing stuff. So let me just go through some quick announcements. First of all, I am available for private reading appointments. I'm taking private reading appointments via phone or Zoom all week this week. Hey, Tristan. Hey, Rez. Thanks for being here. So just to let you know, you can reach me on Facebook at Christina Bloom through Christina L. Bloom. Got to use my middle name. Sorry. Christina L. Bloom through Messenger on Facebook to make that appointment. And let's see. I'm just going to jump right into, I got some stuff coming up here. On July 12th on Zoom, I am teaching a past lives class, exploring your soul's journey across multiple lifetimes. And I have that on Facebook and on Meetup. So you can find that. The link to register for it is right there. You register for the class, and then the Zoom link will be emailed to you. On the 15th of July, I will be at the Merkaba Psychic and Wellness Fair at the Best Western Conference Center on Mondovi Road in Eau Claire from 10 to 5. I'll be doing readings there all day. Let's see. I tucked a couple more things in here. There had been a request. Hello. Thank you for being here. To do a channeling or a channeling at Astalon State Park. I know I did one, I think it was last year. I did a couple of them, and just channeling the spirits that are there. And it's a very active paranormal location. So if anyone is interested in doing that, let me know and I'll get one scheduled. I don't currently have one scheduled now, but it would be a weekend, either the 7th or 8th, or maybe the 22nd, 23rd of July. So let me know if anyone's interested in that. On the 29th, I will be back with Merkaba at the Holiday Inn in Rothschild. That's in the Wausau area of Wisconsin. On August 4th, I will be doing a channeling at Soul and Synergy in Eau Claire. That's at 7 p.m. That's again on August 4th. On August 5th, I will be back at Soul and Synergy doing private readings. So you can either get a hold of Soul and Synergy or get a hold of me and set up your private reading, face-to-face private reading there, as opposed to on the phone or online. Let me see. I know I've got more stuff coming up here. August 18th. From 6 to 8 p.m., I will be doing a channeling at the Gem Goddess Emporium in Plattsburgh, New York. Looking forward to that. I've not channeled in that location before. That should be interesting. I have been there, though, and there's some activity in that building as well. Hey, Jamie Lynn, Gail, Tristan, everybody, thank you so much for being here. On the 19th of August, I will be at the Fairy and Magical Creatures Festival in Elizabethtown, New York. Really excited about that one. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then on the 20th of August, I am back in Plattsburgh at Gem Goddess Emporium, and I will be teaching Introduction to Intuitive You. It's my psychic development program that I've written the book about. And here, I've got one right here. I can just show you the book. So it'll be an introduction, basically, to this book and the class that this book teaches. So that will be on August 20th at Elizabethtown in New York. And September 22nd through the 24th, I will be at the Great Lakes Paranormal Conference. I'll be doing a gallery reading there as well as private readings. And I will also be participating in guiding a paranormal investigation. So I'm really, really excited about that. And then in October, I have some other stuff going on. I'll be at Quad Cities in September. I had to stop and think about that for a minute. In September, I'll be in Quad Cities, and then I believe I'll be back in Wisconsin again in September at psychic fairs. And then Haunted House in Colton or South Colton, I'm not sure which one yet, in upstate New York, in northern New York. I will be there with the Haunted House through Adirondack Park Paranormal Society. And that's something that we do every year to help local children's charities and make some donations there. So we'll be doing that in October. And then after that, I'm back in Plattsburgh, New York again for a Paracon there. More information to come on that. I haven't gotten any recent information on that, but I will. And the weekend after that, I will be in Escanaba, Michigan at the Hiawatha Wellness Psychic Fair there. And I'll be doing the gallery reading there as well. And that will be October 28th, I believe. All this New York stuff, I know, right? It's almost like I like it there or something. Lots of that going on. And then I will be back in New York because of the Moonbow Metaphysical Expo that I'm putting on there. I'm actually running a fair. Wish me luck. Fingers crossed, right? And that will be November 18th and 19th. And I know I've missed some stuff in there somewhere, but that's a lot to remember. So thank you all for listening to me stumble through all of that. I appreciate it. So I just wanted to introduce you real quick to Peter. Peter was a normal ASC mechanic and engineering technician when he experienced a significant awakening that opened his connection to his higher self and the angelic realm. He discovered that he had angelic origins as part of Archangel Michael's army of light. Guided by Archangel Michael and Ascended Masters, Peter was guided on how to put together Tensor technology with palpable healing properties. His research led him to build Tensor rings, all cubits, crystals-infused pendants, Merkaba, healing coils, sound frequency amplifiers, PTSD restoratives, and more. When Peter wears pendants and anklets or using his various energy tools, they connect to your auric field to create a protective light around your subtle bodies of light. This force field will protect your core energy from lower influences, including environmental, building, negative energies and entities, and people. They work directly with your conscious intentions. Peter Benson uses his advanced knowledge of both technology and quantum physics to bridge the gap between science and consciousness. In every product, Peter taps into the energy frequencies of potential healing to help you remove existing patterns that stand in the way of achieving optimum health, happiness, and financial freedom. These tools are designed with mathematical and quantum principles to harness profound angelic energy and crystal healing virtues. For additional information on our energy tools, please visit energiesofservice.com. All right. So with all of that in mind, protection from people is probably the most important. Hey, Maureen, thanks for joining us. Let's bring Peter out here and hear from him how all this technology works. Hey, Peter, welcome.
Hi, Christina. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Good. So are you in Costa Rica? Because I heard there was some weather going on there.
Yep, we're in Costa Rica right now, and we had some thunderstorms all around us earlier. So, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, welcome. And I just read the information you sent to me, but I don't really understand it. So could you please explain to us how all of this works?
Yeah, that's not a problem. We can definitely cover all that. It's a lot to cover, though.
It's a lot to cover, yeah.
It is. It started up. Hi, Tristan. Yeah, it starts out basically 1957. One of the nuclear physicists on the Manhattan Project discovered this. He's the same guy that discovered or coined the phrase black hole. So
Okay.
he's quite the physicist, right? But he didn't know what to do with this. What it was is actually just a metal ring, solid ring. It was just one wire going all the way around, just braised back onto itself. That's what he discovered, that it created an energy field. They didn't know what to do. So it sat for a number of years, and Slim Sperling in the early 90s basically picked it up and found a way to actually utilize it with positive energy flow on both sides. And that
Okay.
started the revolution of tensor technology. And there are many people out there building tensor rings, building tensor tools, and other aspects of it. It's open source, so Slim Sperling, wrote it in his books, and he just basically showed everybody how to build everything. The part that really was interesting is I got that information. It took me like a month or two, maybe a couple months, to actually figure out why I wasn't doing it. I wasn't in a high enough vibration to create a tool that was high vibration. So
Okay.
so it based on the intention of the individuals who does the work. So
That's
um,
interesting. Okay.
it is
Yeah.
these are intention tools. They're a blueprint in the ether that basically I was channeled down to utilize tensor rings, add crystals, and create these tools. And it was
Okay.
first from Archangel Metatron.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Metatron is big energy. I know that for sure. I've channeled
yeah,
Metatron once, blew my doors off. it's, it's big energy.
it is. So it's a lot of fun. He came to me and basically said, "I need you to create some anklets, and you need to be a tensor ring, copper mesh, and have these 5 crystals in it. Two of which I had never heard of before when he gave me the message. So I'm like, okay, I'll figure this out.
All right. Cool. I know I saw Deidre this weekend and she was
Yes.
wearing one of your pendants. And
Yep.
I held it in my hand for just I don't know, less than a minute, I'm sure. And it was literally vibrating in my hand.
Hmm.
I could feel it vibrating
Yeah.
physically on my hand. It was very powerful. Very
Yeah.
powerful.
The archangels did come through, and this is what they want. They want these tools out to people. They're extremely powerful. And I do the name of the company is Energies of Service.
Hmm.
And if you look at the website, it says Energies of Service inside of a crop circle diagram, and it shows, you can feel it, because these tools you can feel. They are
Yeah,
that powerful that, you really can feel them.
absolutely. I just put your website in the private chat so that Todd can pop it up on the screen for you. Um,
Oh,
I looked at
perfect.
your
Thank
website and I was kind of blown away by all the information. That's a lot of information, but it's very well put together. So pretty much anybody who goes there can understand at least what it's going to do for you, even if they don't understand how it's made. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah, I put all the information inside of on the product description. So you're not going to
mhm,
find it on the main page. You have to go into the product and then read the massive amount on every single product.
right.
And so let's want to have a little bit of fun with this one. I think Daedra had the Archangel Michael pendant.
I believe so. I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so let me see here. Yeah, we'll just do this. Here is the Archangel Michael pendant. Sorry for the poor quality because we're in Costa Rica. So what you want to do is actually visualize this on you, like you're wearing it. So visualize that like it's on your, like right hanging right where your heart chakra is. Okay. Now you tell it to, in your thoughts, tell it to reset just by thinking it, and then tell it to go to full power.
Well, I hope that some people in the audience are doing this because I'm doing it and I can certainly feel it. When you first held it up, I actually felt it in my right shoulder, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best way to do it is actually go to the website and do that same thing. with the pictures on the website, and it's just basically what they are is they're etheric. Like I said, they're etheric blueprints. So you can connect to them anytime you want. The thing is, you have to maintain your focus on your intention in order to maintain it.
Right.
So you can feel how they're going to feel. So this is the coolest part. I mean, you can try it before you buy it. How does that feel? I mean, for the tools, you really can
awesome.
feel them.
Yeah.
It is way cool.
That is really cool. And you're right. Intention is everything. I mean, whether it's focusing on those pendants, whether it's meditation, whether it's setting an intention some other way, keeping your attention focused on it with intent is really the key to any of it.
Yeah. And what's interesting is what we've been finding out.
My internet's.
Yeah, you were freezing there for a second, but I could still hear you.
Yeah, my internet is kind of coming up as wonky. I have no idea why, but anyway, continue, please.
What we've been finding is that the tools and the intention side of these are more powerful than we ever thought. And we've been doing the demonstration over video and having people visualize it on and then just feel the energies of them. The other part is like when you actually work on yourself with them. So you can visualize it, wearing it, and now visualize or just think, okay, if there's something, a particular trauma or a particular issue, or even a physical issue, like Todd was talking about. If there's a physical thing going on, it's like, okay, remove the source of that pain, remove the source of that emotional trigger.
Okay.
Right, and just tell the pendant to do it, and you'll feel the energy start moving. It's intense. We had a young lady or a lady here at the resort. She tripped and she fell, and she hurt herself. She sprained her ankle a little bit, and she dinged up her arm. We ended up putting a Archangel Michael on her, which is stress and trauma.
Okay.
And I told her to do the same thing, to reset it, clear. Okay, now tell it to remove the source of your pain that you're dealing with right now in your foot, your ankle, wherever it is. And within a half an hour, she was walking.
That's amazing.
So yeah, and that was just a quick fall. So I mean, you can tell the pendants to do that, and they'll actually pull the energy. So it's actually showing you how powerful you are in intention. And you can actually change the way you look at the medical system and what's going on with your body. It's just like, okay, can I do this? Yes, you can. It's pretty cool. Let's see.
It's my internet. Peter, are you back?
Back.
I think, it's showing my internet is low powered. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay. So I just want to encourage my chat room is usually a lot more active than this. So I just want to encourage people to, ask questions or jump in. And if you have any questions for Peter, or you have any experience with one of his, I almost said devices. Is that right? I mean, that's the word that came to my mind, but because it acts like a device.
It does. I call them the energy tools because it is a tool, and for all intents and purposes, they're more like training wheels.
Okay. Can you explain that?
Absolutely. No, it's like if you get used to something, you tend to actually automatically do it, right? If there's an energy. So when you're wearing like the anklets or the pendant and you just feel that constant energy and you understand how you feel with that on, you can actually create a self, what do you want to call it? Like a catchphrase or a word, and associate that feeling with a word.
Okay.
It's like when you have
like a trigger word.
Correct. You're programming yourself. You program yourself with it. It's like, okay, if I'm wearing Archangel Michael, I feel like I'm safe at home, protected, right? And then you just do, okay, I feel, okay, Archangel Michael is safe. which when you call them in, you feel safe. So that's a good thing
Mm-hmm.
too. So you keep doing that over and over and over again, and you're going to program yourself. So if over time you don't need the pendant anymore, all you got to do is think safe, and it's just like boom, your energy is there, done,
Right.
all done. So when you continuously do this over time, and you program your subconscious to do it, now you don't have to do it anymore, and you automatically do it.
Right. Yeah. I get that. I've taught that actually as a meditation technique,
Yeah.
with a visualization. It's kind of the same thing.
hmm Yeah.
It's, I mean, it's probably different because what you're using is a tool that has, the copper and the crystals and all of that in it that enhances the energy. But I grasp the concept. I've taught in meditation where you can give yourself a trigger word to create um, like a safety or a bubble or whatever, around you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly. So yeah, these are
very
these are
powerful.
basically to get us ready for the next level. And when you're done with them, you can pass them down to somebody else that you know that needs them. They're not going to go bad. There's no batteries required. There's nothing that's going to go bad with them. I mean, the leather lanyard could go bad, but you can put it on anything.
Right.
Um, so I mean, there's no electronics to fry or anything like that. Or
And it doesn't lose power over time.
nope. Actually, this is something interesting and fun that we actually learned from a friend of mine actually in Amsterdam. Him and his partner they're separated. They live in two separate areas, and they get together on weekends. And they had been apart for a few weeks because he was really, really busy at work. And he has Archangel Michael pendant, and he noticed it was getting dimmer and dimmer because they glow 24/7 regardless of what you're doing.
Okay.
But he said it was getting dimmer, and he was really interested. He was concerned with, but then he spent the weekend with his partner all weekend. When he went back home on Sunday, the pendant was fully charged again, glowing, radiant.
Well, that's interesting.
So what we found is as the more you go into left brain, the dimmer it gets. The more you get into your heart center, the brighter it gets. So this is a gauge on where you are. So this is actually pretty cool.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. That could be really useful for people like me who
Mhm.
tend to go, headlong into, well, you heard my list of things I'm doing over the next few
Yep,
months, right? So,
absolutely.
for someone like me who will just sit in the office and just like plan everything out for months in advance, I'm sure that by the end of that, it would be very dim because I'm
Well, it's
just
not a
focused.
well. You can be focused, but you also have to maintain your heart connection with with your head. So you got to just make
Right.
the heart math connection stuff, and it'll actually keep you big in your heart because you want to do that anyway.
Right.
But it'll get dim when you sit there and focus on your computer for a while. Yeah, it'll get dimmer, but if you go into a meditation and recover, it'll come back.
That's pretty awesome. And it
Yeah,
visually glows, like you can see it glowing.
absolutely does.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Let's see.
incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't get him to glow right now, but at home I could have actually done it because I have the setup to do it, but I don't here.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Um, so tell me about the anklets. Is it the same thing as the pendants or is it something that works differently?
Well, each tool is a different energy and a different way they work.
Okay.
So the anklet was the first one from Metatron. Now the anklet is the five crystals inside of a tensor ring and with a copper mesh.
Okay.
When you put those on, one on each leg, copper facing to your side, um, and you do the reset full power, what you're going to feel is almost instantly a ground. Your feet are going to feel like you're literally in the ground. It's
Okay.
going to be a little disconcerting at first. You look down, I'm like, I'm on the ground, but I feel like I'm in the ground. You literally, your energy gets pulled into the ground.
Okay.
So that they literally ground you. So that's one thing for those that have a hard time keeping ground. These work really good. And while it's doing that, it also has a tendency to balance your chakras at the same time. As it's pulling you ground, it balances you. And then the part where Metatron came in and told us what it's going to do is the intention that came in with him was to keep your vibration yours while we go through this time. And it was hard to understand what that meant until we met this lady in San Francisco, and she visualized it perfectly. And the way she explained it is, okay, if you understand, we have an energy torus as our field, right? So we have a giant donut energy field.
Okay.
And when we sense the world through the crown and root chakra. So the energy always flows around the donut and into us. And that's how we can tell where it's coming from, whether it's high or low, is the way it rotates around that field. What she said was, now visualize that donut as a capped top and bottom. So now there's no energy coming into your field, but your field is now solid. It basically turns your energy torus into a shield.
Okay. Interesting.
So at that point, it's not 100% per se like a shield per se. If you look at it this way, it will allow you to radiate your energy out, so you're not blocked in. Okay. And the other part is, if you choose to feel somebody's energy outside of your energy field, you can just think it and you'll feel it.
Okay. That makes
But
sense.
you're not. But like if you're wearing these and you go into like a Costco or the big box store with several hundred people in the same building, by the time you're in there 20 minutes, you want to wring somebody's neck because it's like, get out of the way. I need to get out of here.
Right. Right. I can relate to that. Yeah.
You get ran over 5 times. Yeah. Grocery shopping, get hit 5 times with a cart. You're like, oh my God. But the difference is with this is when you're wearing these into that environment, you no longer feel the energy of those individuals.
Okay.
So that's the difference. It's not going to allow their energy in without you intending it to come in.
That makes perfect sense. Okay.
Okay. And do the products have to be worn all the time? No. If you want to, like if you're going out into public and you're sensitive, yes. If you're at home, no, not necessarily. The anklets, if you wear them to bed the first night, you're going to wake up feeling like a million the next day because your energy field is going to have the first rest it's had in a very long time. But that doesn't happen every night. It happens every once in a while if you do it at night. Okay. So that's the anklets. So that's how they feel. And those are like that's like having a super shield all the way around you. The pendants do it a little differently. So the pendants, instead of actually doing your torus energy field, if you've ever seen the layered approach of energy coming off of your body, you have multiple layers of energy field just stacked.
Yes.
The pendants create basically a barrier right at the outside layer of that. So you, instead of having a bubble shield, you literally walking around with a little bubble around you.
Okay. Resnick, I need one of those anklets. Okay.
Yeah. You need a pair of
service.com.
energiesofservice.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need 2 of those.
You can do one. Yeah, you can do one, but you're going to feel unbalanced and not grounded completely. So you want to do pairs.
Okay.
So the pendant's doing it a little differently. So when you actually add a pendant to the anklets, if you're really super sensitive, it's like you're walking into, like if you just walk into work or walking out into the grocery store doing stuff like that, it's more people watching at this point. You're not energy bombarded. It's really kind of interesting. And because now you're very stable in your own frequency, you can feel your own field. When you sense other people, you can actually see how they function, how they are, where they are in their energy field. I mean, you can tell if they're having a good day, bad day, happy, sad, ups, whatever. But you can you get glimpses of how they are. And the more you get comfortable, the more comfortable you become in your skin, the easier it is to understand how they are. So it becomes you mature with it and understand it.
That's interesting, especially for people who don't read energy or don't pay attention to reading energy of other people. Yeah, definitely going to be for Tristan and his wife Ashley, and she's got some health issues, so it'd be really good for her.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we do. There's one other tool. Do I have it out? Let me see. No, I don't have it out. Um, I have a healing coil that's intention based that I need to post on the website. And it's a intention based healing that you focus on the body,
Okay.
on whatever part you're dealing with, and it's pretty much just breath work at that point.
Okay.
So you focus on what you're working on, and when you focus on the out breath, instead of going to ground or going back to source, you focus the output onto the coil itself, and through that intention, the coil turns on and it turns into an energy vacuum, and it starts pulling the energy that you're actually working on right
Oh,
out of you, and you can feel it moving.
wow. Wow, that would be interesting. Yeah, get that on the website. I want to see what that looks like. I have a visual, but I'm not sure I'm correct on the visual. All right.
Yeah,
We're going to take a quick break and go listen to a commercial for a minute, and then we will be right back to talk about more of. I would like to hear more about your journey and how you got to where you are with this.
absolutely. Absolutely. Sounds perfect.
Okay.
If you're a fan of the paranormal world, then you'll love WLTK-DB Talk Radio. Talk shows bringing you the latest on everything paranormal, cryptozoological, metaphysical, true crime, psychic readings, and more. The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTKDB.com.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. You're listening to Be the Change Radio on going in and out, tech issues.
Yep, that's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I'm really frustrated with my internet service right now. Sorry.
It's
um,
okay.
so tell us how did this, oh, is that the coil you were talking about?
Yeah, this is the one. Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. Too much power. Tristan, you might be right. You might be right. Too much power.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how did this first come to you?
For which piece?
The piece where you started realizing that you were part of the, hi Keith, welcome. Where you started realizing that you were part of Michael's army of angels. I forgot how that read. I would have to go back and look.
The Army of Light.
Army of Light. Yes. Good night, Keith. I know you just popped in to say hi. He does. That's very sweet of him. He's different time zone, has to go to bed early.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how did all that happen?
It didn't happen until after Vivian and I got together. It was long after I understood, some of the things going on. I was researching and understanding some of the books by Michael Newton, Brian Weiss on their research of putting people in the hypnotic regressions and going into past lives and life between lives. So life on the other side, what do you do on the other side kind of thing, and soul groups, and Dolores Cannon's amazing books. I love her books. Those are great.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
But when I got in there, I'm like, okay, this is really cool. And then I started understanding, okay, well, there's an energy field here that we're not quite understanding. It's beyond our current perception. And it's like, okay, cool. And I saw Slim Sperling stuff. And at that point, I started watching the videos that he had, or they're still up on YouTube, on some of the miraculous tools and some of the stories that he had. And I started learning, it's like, okay, well, being a mechanic, I can deal with torches. I've worked with metals. Okay, let's see what I can do.
Okay.
Being engineering tech, I know I understand mathematics and doing all the measurements and being specific and being detail oriented. So I got, everything in the box that worked really well for that. So I started working on creating them, and all different sizes. I was doing small finger rings, like this little guy here, all the way up to, what is it, 25 foot in diameter, a
Wow.
radius, and they're huge. And I've made really, really big ones, really, really small ones. But the tools that really started triggering was the other ones. But what was really interesting was the tools when I first started making them, I couldn't feel them. It really wasn't. I was just making them, and it was part of my journey to be out, and I was going to meditations and doing sound baths and going out and trying to rediscover who I was at the time. And this lady was doing sound baths, and I was going there I think it was every 2 weeks. And I had just created 4 tensor rings. I wanted to see, she was very energy sensitive, and I wanted her to have her try them and see if they could work, and put them under her bowls and see if she could notice a difference. And 2 days later, she texted me back. It's like, "Can you make me 10 more?" Because she had the regular chakras and she had the higher chakras all in the crystal bowls. So she had 14 bowls. So she wanted 1 per bowl. It made the bowls louder, resonate longer, and it changed the tone. So she started learning how to play them at a higher vibrational rate. So that's when I was like, wow,
Awesome.
these really do work. I'm like, this is cool. And it got more and more of a realization that the work is true and guided. And after doing this for a little bit, making the coils and stuff like that,
Okay.
I started doing pendants, but they were wire. I used a wire wrap the crystals inside the tensor ring, and they would just swing inside of it. Those were my first pendants, and the energy coming out of those was actually pretty good too.
Okay.
And then that's when my Metatron came in and basically gave me it's like, okay, you need to make anklets now.
That's really amazing. Hi, Courtney. I was wondering where you were. Courtney's here every week. So,
Oh, perfect. Hi, Courtney.
yeah, it's nice to have you back here, Courtney. So, wow, that's quite a journey that has taken you on then, with the anklets and the pendants, and you started out with the rings. At what
Yeah,
point did
just
you start feeling it? Because you said initially you
um,
couldn't feel it.
yeah, I didn't feel the tensor rings. I didn't feel any of the coils. The first one I really felt was that 25 foot, and it was a one way vortex ring. So it projects massive amount of energy out one side, and it draws in energy to the other side. So it becomes an energy vacuum or an energy pump. I was standing in it when I brazed it together, and I'm like, holy cow! Okay, I gotta get out of that thing.
I'm
It,
sure.
it, it zapped me, and I'm like, holy, yeah. I was like, yeah, okay, this one's strong.
Okay, so I have to know, what do you use a 25-foot ring for?
You can use it for have a whole bunch of people into it, and what we were using it is to create it for. So being a negative side up, we actually I gave that to the lady who was doing sound baths, and we put the whole thing around where she was sitting.
Okay.
So it was all the way around, and it was projecting energy, positive energy up, and it was absorbing any negative energies from the ground.
Okay.
And
So,
so that's
wow,
what we did with it.
that would be crazy. So is that, I mean,
Yeah.
like, people just go onto your website and buy a 25-foot ring?
No, we don't have those up. It's right now.
It's a little
We're
crazy,
trying to.
right?
It is. We're keeping up with demand on the pendants and anklets right now,
Okay.
until we get more help with the copper work. Yeah, we're going to have to keep it lighter until we do that. But once we get some help with copper work, we're going to have all the different tensor rings, all different sizes, all the different configurations, different coils. That is the goal: is to get these tools out to everybody.
Wow. That's incredible. I'm still stuck on the 25-foot ring. Like, I can imagine standing in the middle of this thing and hair just standing up on end. Like,
Well, it's
super
that ring
energized.
is a fun one. That one, if you get like a 2 footer, you get like a 2 footer you can get into.
Hmm.
Um, what you do is you stand in that one, and you actually have it in the actual negative side. For those that work in energy,
Hmm.
you'll understand what I'm saying. It's like if you're
Right,
working on people, you end up absorbing a lot of energy.
right,
So when you're done dealing with people, you put this thing so it's actually drawing down into the ground. You stand in there, and you can feel it just pulling. And you tell it, this is an intention tool as well. You tell it, okay, pull out all of that energy I absorbed that's not mine.
right. You have to be
And
very
then you just
specific
wait for
about that. Yeah.
it. Yeah. And then you just wait for it, and you're like, okay, you're done. And you just step out, flip it over. And now the energy is going to be projected into you, and you can feel the energy climbing your body. It's
Okay.
like you feel it going up your legs, and you feel it hit your hip. It'll go across your stomach, and you'll feel it come up your neck, and then you'll feel it tingle at your crown. And it's just like, whoa. So, yeah, this one's like for those energy sensitive people, it's like, okay, this is great.
Right, right. I am one of those energy sensitive people. Like I'm feeling it as you're talking about it. So
Yeah,
I was like really a super energy sensitive there. The heart. I love the black heart. That's interesting.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so what else do you do? Like you travel around all over the place, and
Yes.
do you just do like presentations and sales, or what is it that you do?
Well, right now, I've only done a couple presentations, but most of the time I'm actually bringing the tools so people can experience them and understand them.
Okay.
Um, but I'm basically traveling with my wife, Vivian Chauvet,
Okay.
because Arcturian hybrid. So
Yeah.
we're at all kinds of different events, and basically we travel together. So when we're together, we just do these things, and I do my thing, and she does her talks and the healing groups and stuff like that. So getting people to experience the tools is actually a lot of fun because
Okay.
a lot of people, yes, well, I put shields up or I've experienced this and I've done all these classes and everybody has all these stories of how much they've actually learned and done. And then when you get them to actually experience a pendant, they're like, oh,
Yeah,
and they
kind of adds
understand
to it. Yeah.
it adds to their understanding of energy field. And it's just like, even when people are like, well, I can put up shields at will. That's great, and that's an amazing thing. But the problem is that's an intention based shield.
Right. You
Until
have to
you can
hold it up.
program correct,
Yeah.
if all of a sudden somebody steps on your toe, there goes a shield,
Yeah.
and it's gone. So the thing is, you have to hold your intention. The minute we get distracted, they drop. So that's what these are for, and they allow us to do more in a day, and then allow us to stay constant in our energy field, learning our own field, our own vibration, while trying to maintain it in our own frequencies and raising our vibration without actually getting it dropped down by whatever happens during the day.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
I know that too because I've put up my own shields. I have my trigger words. I do all of that. But I also know that if I'm not paying attention, it just sort of dissolves.
yeah, they just dissipate. They're just gone.
Yeah. And then I have to redo it again and again and
Yeah.
again. And I tell my students that too. Don't think this is a one-time thing because energy
No.
moves.
Uh-huh.
Energy is constantly moving. It doesn't stay exactly where you put it. So yeah, I get that. I get that.
So yeah,
Does it, yeah,
and
if anyone has any questions or anything, just let us know. We can just pop them right in the comments there. Um, this is really unusual for my chat room. Usually they're just chatting back and forth the whole time. So you must have their attention captured.
that's okay. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So I just to touch on a couple of the four different, pretty much the pendants that we're working on right now, which are the
Great.
actual most popular we got. Which is we talked about the Metatron anklets, which are shielding, all right, and grounding and chakra balancing. You
Mm-hmm.
have the Metatron pendant. No, the Metatron pendant is like a direct connection to Metatron. When you put it on, you feel like you're putting on an armor. You're literally putting on like an angelic armor. You feel like it's like, okay. You feel like you just put on and like an energetic armor piece. And it's very much protecting you from everything all around you. It's really interesting. A lot of people feel warm the minute they put it on because it's a little bit of compression on your energy field. So it almost gives you a little warm feeling.
This is what I was chuckling at.
Yeah.
I love Tristan. He's a dear friend of mine. He's funny.
Cool. But also when I've had a couple people here at this event, literally they've actually had experiences with Metatron before. It's like connecting with Michael. They've connected to Metatron. And they feel like they have a direct connection to Metatron when they put it on, almost like a direct channel. And one lady last night, we were sitting at the table, we were just talking about the pendants, and she goes, "Oh, I love my Michael pendant." And she gave it a kiss, and the next thing she knows, she's like, "Oh my God, he's here!"
Yeah.
Basically, he just gave her a big hug, for giving the kiss. It was actually really cute.
Yeah. That's adorable.
It was really fun.
It's really
wow.
These energy discussions are really interesting for me because I talk about energy all the time. So talking about someone else whose whole life is based in energy is just, it's pumping me up. It's getting my energy pumped up, and I'm loving that because God knows I've needed some pumping up lately. So I do appreciate everything that you're saying because I'm absorbing just from your conversation. I'm absorbing energy, and I really very much appreciate that. I just wanted you to know that.
Well, actually, on the screen next to you, put one of the pictures of the pendants up and focus on wearing it, and we'll work with that.
Okay, how do I do that?
Just open up the browser and go to the website.
Okay.
And then pull up. What would you like to work on? Just curious.
Heart.
Heart. Clearing or healing or both?
Healing.
Okay, let's go to the Archangel Shamuel.
Oh, I put it in wrong. Is it services of energies or service of energies?
Energies of service.
Energies of service. See, I did it backwards.
So everybody that's watching, if you want to, go to the website, go to the Archangel Shamuel under shop, and just look at the picture when we go through this.
Okay.
Now you got to
I'm
fix the
going to
button.
where?
Go to shop. There used to be a shop button on the top button. It's not on the top button
Yep,
anymore.
there it is. I got it.
Yeah, you got to scroll down and find the shop button.
Okay, so the Archangel Michael.
Shamuel.
Shamuel. Oops, wrong one. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. I've got it up. So
with the Archangel Shamuel, this one is, as you can read it, it's actually for stress and trauma, but also it's very much on the heart and healing. It's to know yourself, which is basically into your heart. So this one is different than we just did with the Michael. So we'll do the same thing. So visualize that pendant right on the center of your chest where your heart chakra is. It's going to hang right there. Okay, it's going to sit there. It's going to glow blue in the middle with a white ring around it.
Okay.
So connect to it with a thought saying, okay, I'm going to connect to you. Next, just tell it to, okay, I'm going to reset the energy, reset any intentions on it, reset any energies at all. And then tell it to go to full power.
I told it to go to full power, and I could hear my heartbeat in my ears.
Yep. If it's too much, and it is too much for some, tell it to go to your comfort level, and it'll go right down.
I told it to go to my comfort level. Didn't change. This must be my comfort level.
Well, it might be what you need too.
Right.
So.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier. You get to try the energies of these pendants just by looking at them and
Yeah.
visualizing them on you. So this actually helps you train you on visualization and understanding that, but it also
Hmm.
teaches you how powerful you are in intention and
Right.
understanding. So these tools are just out of this world for what we're doing.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. I mean, anyone who's listening who has not tried that, go to energiesofservice.com,
Yep.
pick a pendant and do that exercise, visualize it on your chest and, or I guess wherever you
Yep.
would need it, but visualize it there and follow those steps that Peter just gave us. Is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That was
If
pretty
you're energy
amazing.
sensitive, you'll feel it immediately.
Oh yeah.
If you're not energy sensitive, sit on it for a little bit. And I'm not kidding. Just sit there and focus on it. Let it do its thing, because the energies that are the walls that you've created
Mm-hmm.
get softer the more you do it.
Right.
And then if you actually have walls up, then you want to start being more sensitive. Ask the pendant that's you're visualizing here. Ask it to clear the walls and the barriers from me understanding or feeling these tools, and it will literally pull those walls down.
Instant. Wow. Yeah. I mean, just looking at the picture of it, I could feel it.
Yeah.
Definitely feel it. Yeah. And you're right. The pictures on the website are much more clear than when you were holding it in front of the camera.
Yep.
But that's to be expected because those are obviously professional photos. So,
Yes.
wow, that was really interesting. I'm glad that you told me about that because that's been something I've been needing for a while now. So that's really great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as I'm on the website, let me just look at some other ones and see if I have questions about any of these. The Angelic Armor set. Can you tell us
Yep.
about that?
That one is a pair of anklets. So you're going to end up closing your torus down and giving yourself a nice big oval shield.
Okay.
And the armor set comes with with those and also Archangel Michael pendant.
Okay.
So the pendant's going to create another layer of shielding, like the Metatron, but the Michael has turquoise, which is very calming for the energy field. Selenite, which is actually clearing and cleansing. Everybody uses selenite to clean their energy of their rooms and stuff, so this is selenite. And then we have green mica, which is actually a emotional clearing stone.
Okay.
More masculine side versus the the green is the more masculine on this one, and pink is usually the more feminine. So
Yeah, I have
when
to
you're
tell
wearing,
you, my teeth are vibrating. Literally looking at this picture, my teeth are vibrating.
on the Michael,
Yeah, on the one that Angelic Armor set.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
When you
crazy.
when you're working with a set, there's a little bit of a different procedure to do. So you can visualize that set being on,
Mm-hmm.
but the first word you do is, okay, I'm connecting.
Mm-hmm. Connected.
Okay, now you want to synchronize. You want
Okay.
so the two anklets are talking to the pendant. You want all three are connected, so they're synchronized. Then your commands are all instantaneous and all unified. So at that point, you tell them reset, and then go to
Mm-hmm.
full power, and then you'll feel it.
Wow.
It's going to be a different energy than the one you just felt.
Wow. I'm looking at the close-up pictures of these on the website. Okay. If it goes to all the way to full power, I'm not sure I'll be able to have a conversation. I probably shouldn't do that right now.
Well, if it goes to full power and it's too much, just tell it to go to comfort level immediately, or
Comfort
just tell it to go
level.
to comfort level. Yeah.
Yeah, just go to comfort level because I could feel the energy continuing to rise as it was going up my body, like just kind of
Yep.
vibrating all the way up. And, I'm having a conversation. I'd like to keep my brain going. So, oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I think you'd have a hard time with the multidimensional then.
Yeah, I'm actually, when we get off the air, I'm going to try that multidimensional because that looks really interesting.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one actually has the three tensor rings in it are your third eye, crown chakra, and star chakra.
Okay.
So the frequencies of that are going to open your higher, you have those three chakras and give you more open. So it's going to be like opening up your torus, going like that. Okay, opening that energy field,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, you'll feel a lot of warmth coming through your chest, coming
I
through
am
your heart
feeling
chakra.
that just looking at the picture on the website. I'm looking at that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so you're going to open up with your heart, and it's going to open up your connection to your higher self, because those are the two things. Your higher self and your heart are the same. So that's what, working there. But it also has the same crystals as a Michael. So you're going to have the shielding, calming, clearing, and emotional healing.
Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. Here's something a lot of us need. I know you guys see what I'm looking at here. The chill pill. The
Oh,
chill
the
pill
chill pill. Oh
pendant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Calm out, calm the F out. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Like, yeah.
that pendant got its name from a friend of mine who was working as a what do you call it? Chiropractor? No. Uh, physical therapist technician. So the
Okay.
doctor would give the patients their what they're doing and the paperwork, and they would give him the paperwork, and then he would actually give them doing their exercises.
Right.
And he would be dealing with 6, 7, 8 people all at the same time. So he's running around everywhere, bouncing off of people. And he put that on. And he goes, "Oh, dude, this is a chill pill." And I'm like,
Oh,
Good name."
that's nice. That's nice. I like that one. I know a lot of people who could use that one, me included sometimes.
Yep.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. First of all, they're beautiful. Every pendant is beautiful. And thank you for sharing that with us. And so just energiesofservice.com. You can go there, click
Yep.
the shop button, and you can see all of the pendants and the ankle bracelets,
Yep.
anklets. So, yeah, wow, this is really cool. Well, thank you so much for being on the show and for taking time out of your beautiful weekend in Costa Rica to come and talk to us today. Very much appreciated. And thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you very much.
Everybody have a great 4th of July. If you happen to be in the United States, keep your fingers intact, be careful, and we will see you next week.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.